Cari telespettatori, buongiorno e bentornati a Sportivi a 360 gradi. Anche se la stagione estiva sta alle nostre porte ormai, si parla di hockey in questa puntata di Sportivi. Si parla con Giuliano Guarascio e Giuliano Agostino, che sono tutti e due della Fédération de l'Est con il Midget Double B, però anche con Antonio Pierfelice, che anche lui è con la Fede de l'Est, questi giocatori giovani che vedrete hanno tanto da dire, e il signor Frank Conciatori, che lui invece ci parlerà delle Olimpiadi speciali che organizza ogni anno. E quindi non andate via, si continua con Sportivi a 360 gradi dopo questa breve pausa. Di ritorno a Sportivi a 360 gradi e quando si parla di hockey ci sono tantissime squadre qui a Montreal di hockey, però ce n'è una squadra dove ci sono tanti italiani che giocano, o italo-canadesi se vogliamo, che giocano in queste squadre, e con Fede de l'Est abbiamo intervistato parecchi giocatori e ne abbiamo un altro con noi, un giocatore che gioca all'attacco, il signor Antonio Pierfelice. Antonio, benvenuto and welcome to our show. We're going to talk about your present season, how it went. You're playing a Midget Double B, right?
Yes I am.
And you play what position?
I'm either a centerman or I play anywhere in the front.
Okay, so Antonio, this was a pretty good season for you guys because obviously you got to the semifinals. Can you talk us through how the season went? Did it start off nice, and then how did things go?
Well, at the beginning of the season, it's just like every team, preseason, you're just getting to know each other. But our team, we really bonded and we built a good chemistry. And we also did have one of the youngest teams in the league. But we managed to come together and we ended up finishing first in the regular season.
First in the regular season, so that's quite an accomplishment for one of the youngest teams to beat teams like, I don't know, Pointe-aux-Trembles, Les Braves, and all that stuff. How many teams are there in the league?
We were a total of 7 or 8.
8 teams? To finish first among them, with the youngest, that's quite impressive. Now, you've been playing since what age?
I was about 3 years old when I started skating.
You started skating. You didn't play hockey at 3 years old?
No, I was about 4 years old. I picked up a stick and I was just, yeah.
So I guess the passion of hockey just invaded you. Was it your dad that gave you this passion? How did this passion come along?
Well, my dad, he used to play hockey, and also my uncles, so I guess I had the choice between soccer and hockey, and I love both sports, but hockey's my main sport.
And did you play a bit of soccer also here in St. Leonard?
Not with St. Leonard. I used to play with RDP. I had stopped for a few years, but now I just play for fun and with our school soccer team. So yeah.
So you play soccer with the school, hockey in a regular league. That's quite a bit of physical activity, and I guess it's something that you have to be in very good shape for.
Yeah, well, I try to pace myself during the summer, not to always eat junk food, to still keep in shape and keep training. Even though I'm not always on the ice or maybe not always on the soccer field, I just try to keep in shape and so that I'm ready to go next season.
I think that's a very important aspect of becoming a good player is dosing what you eat, dosing how you eat, and then making the most of it and eating the right food to give you the right energy. I think that's really, really important. Now, what is a regular season week like for the players of Fede de l'Est? How many times do you train a week?
Well, we usually used to have maybe a practice or two and also a training session, which was off ice, that we used to do at the gym in RDP. And we'd usually have maybe 1 or 2 games if we were lucky, 2. But yeah, we'd usually have a game also.
So it's quite a busy week. You have 2 practices, 2 games, and an off-ice session. So that's 5 times a week. So that's quite a bit of an involvement for you, but also for the parents, because obviously the parents are involved all the time, right?
Yeah, I really appreciate what my parents have done for me. They really helped me get through everything, and I appreciate the time they put in to drive me around everywhere. So.
That's a very nice thing that you just said there, because it's a reconnaissance, right? And I'm sure when you have kids, you'll probably do the same with them. You'll encourage them to be happy in what they're doing, because that's the bottom line. If you're happy playing hockey, it's nice to have the encouragement to do it. Now, when you play and you practice so much, there's also your body takes a toll. Have you had any injuries throughout your career?
I actually have. I'm dealing with one right now. It's a broken finger. I was actually,
Broken finger that happened during hockey?
yeah, in the month of November, I was hit by a slap shot, and I didn't think it was anything serious, so I continued playing, and I ended up finishing the season with my broken finger. But unfortunately, it didn't.
Didn't heal.
No, because I waited way too long because I wanted to continue playing so that we keep the position up top, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to play during the semifinals, and we also had other injuries, so it took a toll on the team.
But to play with an injured finger, obviously, it's not an easy thing. You kept this all to yourself because you wanted to keep on
I
playing?
didn't really keep it all to myself. Like, my teammates knew, my coaches knew, so they tried to like limit my ice time so that I wouldn't aggravate the injury. But like, I did what I had to do.
And throughout the season, in your own team, were there a lot of injuries?
There actually was. There was one of our defensemen with a broken collarbone. Our goalie dealt with a concussion. We had a kid who suffered a broken hand. And so we were really taken with injuries, and it does affect a younger team in the league. So.
Yeah, also because if you guys are among the youngest team and the youngest in age, obviously, the smallest, exactly, you guys are not exactly at the strength or height of the bigger teams who are 16 and 17-year-olds. You too, it's your first year in midget double B, right?
Well, like our team, we tried to base our game on speed because we knew that since we were the youngest and the smallest, we had to burn these teams with speed. So we used that a lot to our advantage because we saw that we really worked with strategy and we saw which players we could have taken advantage of on the ice. So like I said before, the chemistry was there and we really came together as a team. It was one of the best seasons I ever had, like on the ice and off the ice. So
that's a very nice thing you've been saying there, and I think we have to give credit also to, I guess, the coaching staff. Who was coaching the team?
our coaches were Costa Bonavoya, and also as assistants we had a few, and like the main thing in our team was team spirit, and when one player would fall, we had to always have a guy who would come back up and help us. So it wasn't like we were always depending on one player. Like, everybody had their own important role in the team, and we knew what each player could have done, so we had faith in each other.
That is, these are very wise words also because it's a team sport. You can have as much talent as an individual as you want, but it's never going to be as much as the sum of all the parts, right? So I think that's one thing that you learn throughout sports. I know in my career, I've played soccer, I played a bit of hockey, not much, but when you play team sports, if the team gels, it's an amazing feeling, and I think that's what you guys it happened this year, right?
And like, we knew that some of the teams, we'd see it. Like, we weren't one team that wouldn't admit when we saw a team that had more skill than us. That's why it was important for us, like, to have a lot of chemistry and use our strengths together, not only individuals. Like, use our strengths all together, and we managed to defeat some pretty strong teams in the league.
That's right. So you guys are built on speed. Who's a hockey player that you kind of inspires you or is an idol of yours?
I would have to say Pavel Datsuk because of his hands, and like, I try to base my game on the same thing. That's like I said, we all have our important roles in the team, and like, I think I would be like the type of player who would like.
He's a leader.
Yeah, exactly. He's a leader, and I'd like take the puck and like just do my own thing. And I know who would be around me, and sometimes you wouldn't expect to play, and I would have to make it and sometimes, like, a lot of the players I've been playing with, we've been playing with each other. Like, I have a few players on my team, we've known each other since we were 3 years old, so they know where they have to go. And some players they wouldn't expect it, but like, I always tell them, like, expect the unexpected. The puck's gonna come at any time. Yeah.
Antonio, thank you so much. Wish you all the best for the next season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ecco, allora andiamo a questa breve pausa e si continua a parlare di sport a Sportivi a 360 gradi. Di ritorno a Sportivi a 360 gradi e abbiamo avuto il piacere di parlare con un giovane che gioca a hockey per Fededlest. Abbiamo un altro giovane che è nella stessa squadra di Fededlest, però questo qui ha un compito un po' più difficile. Il compito direi più difficile di tutta la squadra, che è quella del portiere. Il portiere è il signor Giuliano Agostino. I don't know if you understood what I said, Giuliano, but I think to be goalie is definitely not an easy position. How long have you been goalie?
I've been goalie for 10 years now. I started at the age of 5 years old as a player, and then when I got the chance to become a goalie, I've enjoyed the position a lot, and I just continued since the age of 5.
And when you started as a player, you were a forward or a defenseman?
I was a forward, yes, I was a forward. I was a forward with Julian.
With Giuliano. So, and to go from a forward to goalie, how does one make that decision?
Well, when I was younger, the kids used to rotate goalies. So when it was my turn to become a goalie, I went in nets. I made that first stop, and it clicked, and I knew I wanted to be a goalie.
You enjoyed the responsibility of having to make that stop because it's a big responsibility. And for a goalie, I mean, there is not one goalie on earth, whether it be soccer, whether it be hockey, that a ball or a puck has not gone through. So you know in your head that somehow, somewhere, sometime, a puck is going to go through. But before it goes through you, it goes through 5 other players, right? And that's what a lot of people sometimes have trouble understanding, because if you have a night off, then it's really bad. But if they have a night off, you're in charge. How do you deal with that?
Well, it's all in the preparation for the game. You have to be minded and concentrated, and you have to think about your game and how you're gonna manage to save that puck. You don't have to think about the goal that's going in the net. You only have to think about how you're gonna stop that puck.
And once the goal goes in the net, you have to forget about it because there's other stuff that has to come. You got to stop the next puck, right? Now, you as a goalie, hopefully for Fedid Lest, I hope you have a goalie coach, right?
Yeah, we have a goalie coach. His name is Mauro. He's a good goalie coach, and I've also had goalie coaches in the past that really helped me develop my style in my hockey goalie career. And technique is everything. You need to know your technique. Without technique, well, it's a bit harder.
It's very difficult because there's a lot of very precise movements, I think, that a goalie has to do. Déplacement hanté, you have all kinds of stuff that you have to know as a goalie and that you have to master before becoming a good goalie. Do you do hockey schools during the summer?
My dad had a hockey school, and I attended the hockey school. But after that summer ended, I haven't been in hockey schools that much. I've been actually have a program at school that I have hockey. I'm in a hockey program.
What is it? Sportivi?
Sportivi at Lester B. Pearson High School. I'm on the ice every day with the school for an hour and a half. And then, at night I have my city hockey with my Federation under Leste team. So I play a lot of hockey, a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours of hockey. So how does that work for Sportivi? You study in the morning, and in the afternoon you have hockey?
Well, we started our class at 8:15 and we end at 12:30. 12:30, we head down to the arena, and usually practice at 1:30 till 3:30 or 3:30 till 5:30. It's later. And we have a goalie coach at school too. He was drafted from I think it was the St. Louis Blues a while ago. So I learned a lot from him too. And
So I think that's one of the most critical aspects of being goalie, is to be well prepared and to have some good coaching to assist you, because the goalie coach does not deal with the players. The players have another coach who takes care of them. Sometimes you have a defensive coach that takes care of the defense. One guy takes care of the offense, and the head coach takes care of everybody. But the goalie definitely has a big responsibility. What turns you on basically when you're in a game? Say like now, you had the semifinals. Obviously, you didn't get through to the finals, but to get to the semifinals means there was only 4 teams left. So the challenge for you and the pressure for you is so much more. I mean, your whole team is counting on you. You're like the hero or sometimes the zero when you lose, right? How do you deal with that?
Well, personally, I like having a lot of pressure on me because I like when people count on me, because I know that I have to do that much better. That's, again, I said before the game, concentrating.
So pressure doesn't phase you out at all?
Pressure does not phase me, but when it does, you see it. There was some games where I've played amazing, and some games where the 5-6 goals would go by, and that's when you have to just continue playing, and then you can't quit. You just can't.
And also another thing that our viewers have to understand is that with respect to a player, a goalie has a lot more equipment on him. So I know that goalie equipment in general, I know for the midget you have the big pads, you have the plastron, you have all the big stuff. you're talking about 40 pounds of equipment, which is a lot. And in many cases, I know that probably if you've done hockey schools in the summer, in many cases, hockey schools for goalies, like Perform Plus or others, when they skate around and all that stuff, these guys are in incredible shape. So I guess that's your case too, right?
Yeah, it also, you need to do off-ice training and gym to keep fit, to get all that extra weight of the equipment, like to keep you going, to keep using the same movement. There's also different style of pads and equipment that are lighter than some others, so that I enjoy that. And
what would you call your style of goalie? Are you papillon, are you butterfly, or you're a hybrid? What's your style?
I'm a butterfly goalie, even though I'm a bit short. The butterfly goal, it's easier to, for the low shots, it's easier for me. It's just the higher shots that have to be more quicker, yeah. So I have to anticipate the play and stay calm before he shoots so I could react perfectly.
Perfectly, and also I guess you have to be maybe a little more aggressive when somebody comes towards you if you want to cover your upper angles, right?
You have to stay out of your crease. I would usually say 2-3 feet out of your crease, so you cover all the angles, the top angles, the low angles. And always watch your butterfly because they usually go low and butterfly.
Right. Giuliano, we have a hockey game going on behind us. The Canadians are doing very well this year. As far as goalies go, who are your idols?
My idols are Carey Price and Jonathan Quick.
Jonathan Quick of the LA Kings.
Jonathan,
what do you like about their styles?
Well, Price, I like him because he's a calm goalie and you see it. He saves the puck, and I know he's a bit younger than most goalies, but he also could show that he's one of the best. And Jonathan Quick, I like because he's quick, he's flexible, and he knows how to save that puck.
That's another very important quality that a goalie needs, is to be not only quick but very, very flexible, because often you got to do the split to go from one side of the net to the other in case somebody does a wraparound, right?
Yeah, stretching is key. Stretching is key, and always being ready. So, like, let's say the play is not in your zone. While you're in that crease, you have to move around, stretch, and always focus and be ready. Yep.
Giuliano, it was a treat talking to you. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best in your future goalie adventures, and for Fidelis too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ecco, allora andiamo a questa pausa e si continua con Sportivi a 360 gradi. Di ritorno a Sportivi a 360 gradi, e anche se comincia a far caldo all'esterno si parla di hockey con un giovane che gioca e ha giocato questa ultima stagione con il Fidelis qui a Montreal, una squadra dove ci sono tanti italiani. Sono con il signor Guarascio. Giuliano, welcome to our show. I think we'll do this in English to start off with, but se vuoi parlare italiano, you're very welcome to. Allora, tu giochi a hockey dall'età di quanti anni?
3 anni.
Da 3 anni. Allora, ma a 3 anni non si gioca mica a hockey a 3 anni.
No, ma giocarmi con amici, cominciare a patinare con il mio padre e i coach.
Ok, piano piano uno deve iniziare a patinare, poi piano piano you start learning the rigors of playing in a team, but real team hockey. So at what age did you start?
About 7, 8. That's when it's really competitive, and after I got around 9 years old, it's like competitive after, like really competitive.
So you started off, say 9 years old is what, at home, I think?
Yeah, around that time, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Okay, and afterwards you always been with Fidelis, right?
Yeah, I've been with Sportivi since I was a little kid, like since Bit, and I just always been with them. It's a good team to play with, good coaches, good staff.
Well, listen, I know that there's a lot of Italians that play hockey here in Montreal, especially Fidelis, especially even Pointe-aux-Trembles, there's a lot of Italians. A bit all over, there's a lot of Italians. Even a Huntsic, I know Les Braves, they have a lot of Italians that play with them. They have the Boston Bruins sweater that obviously some like, some don't. But listen, Giuliano, you play what position?
I play forward, usually on the right wing.
And you've always played forward?
Yeah, since we started choosing positions there, I've always been forward.
So tell me something. What do you like about hockey?
I like the competitive aspect. That like it's always like when you're in the game, like you can zone out of everything else, and you can really like just concentrate on what you're doing, and like you could just like get away from like your problems and all that. Just like really
I guess that's the nice thing about sports in general is that when you get to a level where it's quite competitive, you just eliminate everything else and you just concentrate and you're having fun in the moment. Obviously, if you started from when you were 3, how old are you now?
Now I'm 15.
15 years old, so it's 12 years you've already been playing hockey. That's a long time in such a young life, that's for sure. So you enjoy playing hockey, you enjoy going to arenas. You also have tournaments throughout the year, right?
Yeah, we do. We did Drummondville, St. Leo. We go a bit around everywhere. It really depends. Like sometimes last year we went to like Rouyn-Noranda, and we actually won that tournament.
You won the tournament. So how does that feel?
Well, it feels great. Obviously, who likes to lose, right? But yeah, when we won, I was happy. Good, fun to see.
And when you go to a tournament, do you have a different mindset with respect to, say, when you play during the season? I mean, during the season, you know, you have, I don't know how many games you play in a season. You play, what, 20, 30 games, 28 games about. And, you know, you play every game. You try to finish first, obviously, you know. But when you go to a tournament, it's short. You have, what, 3 days? Especially if you go to Rouyn-Noranda, you don't stay there a whole week, right? So what do you find is different?
Because let's say in a season, like you could always next game. Okay, if you don't play good one game, you always have next game to catch up or let's say improve on an aspect. But let's say when you're in a tournament, you screw up, like you mess up one game and you're done. Because after that you have to catch up, and after it's too hard. So it's better to stay on top of the game and that's it. Play focused and.
So a tournament is more intense.
Yeah, obviously, because you want to win. You don't want to travel 9 hours away to Rouyn-Noranda to come back with nothing, you know?
That's right, exactly. Now, this year, from what some of your colleagues were telling me, you guys were among the youngest team in midget. Now you're playing midget double B, right?
Yeah, we had the most teams of first years because it's 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And we were a team with the most 15-year-olds on our team. And we finished first in the league, so it was pretty good. And plus, in the playoffs, well, we didn't win. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but we went to the semifinals, which is still, for a young team, it's pretty good.
That's quite an accomplishment for a team that has at least half the team was first year. So that's it. And how did it go in the semifinals?
Well, the team we lost to, we actually beat them a lot. We beat them like all year. I think they beat us once out of like the 4 times we played them. But it just so happened that bad bounces, and that's it.
And it's one game. It's not like a 2 out of 3, right?
No, it's the first team to win team to lose 2 games. We lost to one team, and then after that we played against them. We were expected to win, but unfortunately bad bounces and stuff like that, we lost.
And that's sports. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and there's no halfway between, right? That's the fun thing about sports. Now, you've always played forward, or have you played other positions throughout your career?
Well, I play defense sometimes, but like most of the time I'm forward. But I like more forward because like it's fun to play like other positions also. But like I like forward because it's like more like intense and like I like to score. So
you scored quite a few goals this year?
Yeah, I score a lot. I also got a lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties? Why is that?
Yeah, I get frustrated. You know, I get too into the game, and after that.
So is that something that you're going to be working on for the next few seasons? Because now, okay, your first year midget, you probably played against some very big players because at your age, 15, 16, 17, players can be, yeah, it's very different, but there's some that are pretty big, pretty fast, pretty strong. So obviously you can get into some tricky situations, to say the least, right? So I guess now that you're 15, you had your first season, I guess your mindset for next year probably going to be a little different, right?
Yeah, exactly, because I want to have to get more concentrated into the game. Like I'm concentrated, but after concentrating, I'm not getting stupid penalties, and like after it messes up the team spirit also. You know, like after like one guy goes against another, and after that, it's too bad goal, and after that,
it has consequences. What you do, that's it. Yeah, and anyways, you're there to be on the ice. You don't want to be on the bench, right? That's the most important thing. So tell me, how does a season of midget double B evolve? Like you start off, what time of year? Like do you start training in the summer?
Well, I start training in the summer there. After that, we have the summer camp, like the team tryouts. And after
when is that? In August?
It's in September, and the team is usually made end October, and then your season starts in end October, November. You try to start off high and have to stay there the whole year. But as you know, there's always little problems, ups and downs.
And it's very competitive because, I mean, there's a lot of players that play. We have the example here. We have a whole bunch of people that are here with you. This is your team, obviously. But when you're trying out with maybe 10 times more players than that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot more players. But you try to just play your best. You don't want to hurt anyone because they might be your teammates. So you try to play clean hockey and that's it, man.
It's the most important thing. So what are you going to be doing throughout the summer to get ready for next season?
I'm gonna be training hard, going to the gym, skating, going.
And do you eat well?
When I'm not at restaurants or with family, you know, but I try to give myself.
Giuliano, I want to wish you all the best. Have a great season next year. Hopefully you'll make AA. Is that one of your goals?
Obviously, it's one of my goals. It's everyone's goals, right? Who wants to play lower hockey when you can play high up there? So yeah, I want to play high hockey as high as I can at least.
So it's nice. You got a challenge in front of you. Go for it. Right. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thanks.
Allora avete sentito il signor Giuliano qui che ci ha parlato della sua stagione di hockey, una bella stagione e gli facciamo tanti auguri perché chissà, forse farà il AA l'anno prossimo. Allora non andate via, si continua con Sportivi dopo questa brevissima pausa. Di ritorno a Sportivi a 360 gradi, ho con me il piacere di avere il signor Franco Conciatori che si occupa di una cosa particolare con la Sûreté du Québec, perché Franco tu lavori con la Sûreté e per la Sûreté du Québec qui a Montreal. Questa cosa che stai organizzando sono delle Olimpiadi speciali, vero?
Sì. Sono quasi 4-5 anni che mi impegno con l'Olimpiade speciale dei ragazzi qui a Montreal e quest'estate facciamo una partita di calcio contro i giocatori di Olimpiade speciale qui a Ebair. Abbiamo also l'associazione la società di Leonard che si impegna anche per il campo e ci saranno anche giocatori di Leonard che giocheranno contro i
giocatori della SQ.
Delle SQ e
Olimpiadi speciali. Ma in cosa consiste le Olimpiadi speciali? Sono Olimpiadi per persone che hanno certi handicap o ci puoi spiegare un attimino di cosa si tratta?
Sì, no, non possiamo dire che sono handicappati, in inglese è una mentally deficient, una deficienza mentale, perché sono dei...
Qui a Montreal si parla inglese, francese e italiano, si salta da uno all'altro.
Sono giocatori e sono ragazzi che altro di si impegnare nel calcio non fanno niente, allora invece di stare davanti alla televisione o davanti al computer li portiamo fuori, li facciamo, li mostriamo qualche cosa per come si gioca al soccer.
Ed è una buona causa perché gli fa uscire, gli fa fare un po' di esercizio piuttosto che rimanere, come dici tu, di fronte alla televisione a far niente, se sa, cioè va bene, uno si può anche divertire guardando un bel film, però una volta ogni tanto, soprattutto se sono giovani, vale la pena di portarli fuori, no?
Giovani o no, ma sono ragazzi, sono gente che non ci serve gran cosa per farli sorridere, e delle volte solo il fatto di aver dato un calcio a un pallone, un sorriso vale tanto. Allora stiamo organizzando una serata così, sarà quest'estate al centro Ebair a Leonard, a Stade Ebair, sì, e allora speriamo che ci saranno molte gente che vengono a vedere, ci sarà la Sûreté du Québec in cui faccio parte e l'associazione del Leonard in cui faccio parte, l'abbiamo mischiato insieme e speriamo che sarà una riuscita.
Questa sarà una vera e propria partita di calcio di 90 minuti, vero?
Beh, speriamo, guarda, noi stiamo là per... ci divertiamo, si dura 90 minuti, si dura 120 minuti, quello che dura, ma basta che alla fine della giornata ci divertiamo.
Questa è una cosa molto importante. È il primo anno che questa qui è organizzato?
Sì, è il primo anno che l'ho portato davanti al comité del lavoro, hanno detto sì, guarda, se fai una cosa così ci vogliamo impiegare.
Quindi è una cosa che è proprio la Sûreté du Québec che ha iniziato, cioè, da parte tua evidentemente, questa è una tua ispirazione. Da dove è venuta questa idea?
Guarda, abbiamo organizzato un torneo di golf, abbiamo raccolti dei parecchi fondi che abbiamo dato alle Olimpiadi speciali, Special Olympics, e da lì abbiamo visto che ce ne hanno bisogno e perché no se impiegare nel calcio, faccio parte della società in calcio, allora uno va con l'altro e
In inglese si dice it's a no-brainer, quindi è facile da organizzare una cosa del genere. E quelli della Sûreté du Québec, ci sono parecchi giocatori di calcio nella Sûreté du Québec? Oltre a te?
Pure se, guarda, siamo quasi 3-4 italiani là, allora sicuro loro ci verranno e ci sono quasi, poi ci saranno, pure se non giocano vengono per il piacere di aiutare.
E questi ragazzi delle Olimpiadi speciali da dove vengono? C'è un centro particolare o vengono da un po' dappertutto?
Questi ragazzi vengono dalla regione di Bourassa, allora nella regione nostra che sarebbe Ville d'Anjou, Saint-Léonard, Montréal Nord, la regione Bourassa. Allora ce ne sono parecchie, c'è il coach che si chiama Di Felice Mario che porta la squadra sua. Allora sono state alle Olimpiadi nel West Island quest'estate, hanno fatto il primo posto mi sembra. Allora guarda, sono ragazzi, femminile e maschile dall'età di mi sembra 14 fino a 50. Allora,
fino a 50 anni?
Sì, perché guarda, può avere una persona di 50 anni ma la deficienza reagisce come una persona di forse 13-14 anni, allora non è che stai lì per vincere ma stai là per dare un esempio al giocatore, un'opportunità di uscire di casa.
Esatto, e penso che sia un'esperienza molto valorizzante non solo per i giocatori ma soprattutto è anche per quelli che vedono questi giocatori che hanno proprio questo handicap, se vogliamo, mentale, però che poi, come dici, basta un niente con un tocco di un pallone e loro sono contenti come tutto, li fai correre un po', gli insegni un po' di cosa vuol dire giocare a calcio in una squadra e contro anche altre persone, deve essere proprio una bella soddisfazione.
Sì, la soddisfazione non è solo cosa dai ai ragazzi, ma cosa ti ridanno indietro, è qualcosa che non puoi comprare, non c'è costo, non c'è prezzo, allora è solo il fatto di avere un giocatore che ti abbraccia perché ha fatto un gol o ha fatto una bella passaggio, è una cosa straordinaria. Guarda, io mi impegno, sono fortunato che ho 3 ragazzi in gamba e guarda, il minimo che posso fare lo sto facendo.
Questa è una bella cosa che stai facendo, come dici è molto gratificante una cosa del genere, e soprattutto come dici che sai, loro basta un niente, sono contenti, è un'esperienza che loro sicuramente si ricorderanno per tanto tempo, soprattutto adesso questa qui è una prima volta che si gioca così, ci saranno forse anche altri eventi del genere.
Ci saranno forse in altro sport anche perché guarda, una volta che qualcosa di buono comincia tutti vogliono seguire e allora speriamo che nel futuro ci sarà forse il basketball, forse il hockey, sai, qualsiasi cosa, non è che ci serve il mondo per farli, allora.
Attraverso una cosa semplice come lo sport, è questo che si cerca di far capire a tante persone, che attraverso lo sport non è solo competizione, non è solo una questione di miliardari che giocano, sì ci sono questi, però attraverso uno sport, un'attività fisica si riesce a dare non solo al giovane ma poi a tutta la comunità e tutti quelli che lo circondano, perché sicuramente i genitori di questi giovani saranno molto contenti, vero?
Ho parlato con un paio di genitori, ci venivano le lacrime agli occhi, solo per ci ho offerto una partita così, hanno detto wow, ma cosa stai facendo? Ma io no, per me è una cosa, è il tempo, guarda, se ognuno facesse la parte sua il mondo sarebbe forse una cosa.
Hai molto ragione Franco, e questa è la bellezza dello sport e di gente come te che si implicano così. Franco, grazie tanto e cercheremo di venire con la telecamera a filmare questa cosa. Quando è l'evento?
Quest'estate vi informerò quando sarà, guarda, appena che il sole esce con questa bella temperatura allora ci saremo.
Grazie Franco.
Alla prossima, ciao.
Ecco allora per questo segmento e andiamo alla pausa subito. Allora, puntata di hockey, avete capito che abbiamo intervistato questi giovani giocatori che chissà un giorno forse potranno arrivare alla Lega Nazionale, non si sa, però gli facciamo tanti auguri. Il signor Giuliano Guarascio, Giuliano Agostino, che lui è portiere, invece Antonio Pierfelice, anche lui un bravissimo giocatore, giocato con degli infortuni quest'anno, e facciamo tanti auguri anche a Frank Conciatori con questa Olimpiadi speciale che sta organizzando con la SQ. Io vi do il saluto e spero di vedervi nella prossima puntata di Sportivi a 360 gradi. Ciao ciao.